Hello, 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 everybody. This is Dr. Priscilla, and today, if you're listening, I'm going to give you a few tips about the IELTS. So today is Thursday, so it's Thursday's tips for the IELTS exam. So how many of you are preparing for the IELTS exam? Okay, I'm going to assume that 100 people are watching and are anticipating what it's going to be like when you take that exam. This is what I want you to know. When you enter into the exam room, take a deep breath and breathe out. That helps to calm yourself. Listen to the examiner. The examiner will greet you. Hello, and how are you? And you will say something like, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. And breathe. The examiner will know that you are a little nervous, but the examiner is just like any other person. The examiner has a script that he or she is reading from and most likely will not deviate from it very much. So if you practiced in a good way, or if you continue to practice and you practice in a good way, you will do just fine. Now, I want to tell you, it is not necessary for you to make 100 or score a 9. Of course, if you score a 9, that would be fantastic. But that is not the requirement. The requirement is to prove or demonstrate that you have the proficiency to be able to speak in a fluent manner, not a perfect manner, but in a fluent manner. And the best way to speak in a fluent manner is to constantly practice. Let's just say, for example, at this moment, there is no one listening to me, and I'm just talking. And that may be what you need to do. Just start to talk. Talk as if 10,000 people are listening to you. And when you do this on a regular basis, the words that you're looking for will come to your mind, from your mind out of your mouth to the person that is listening to you. So here's a tip for today regarding the IELTS. Let's just assume that you are going to be asked a question about your favorite food. That's an easy question because everyone eats. So once you get that question, you will have 1 minute to think about it, process it, and come up with a response. 1 minute to prepare, 2 minutes to speak. If you have more than 2 minutes of information to give as your response, be pleased if the examiner asks you to stop because you have met the criteria of speaking for 2 minutes. When you are speaking for 2 minutes, try to keep in mind that you want the information that you're giving to the listener, you want that information to flow. For that information to flow, you'll need to concentrate on some key features of your response. You need to, one, have transitional phrases, at least one. You need to have academic vocabulary, at least one academic vocabulary word. But the strategy, the method that I'm going to teach you is going to guarantee that you'll have several academic vocabulary words. When you think about academic vocabulary words, just forget about any mass list. Just think about vocabulary words that are academic will have 3 or more syllables, such as fantastic, amazing, wonderful, okay? Things like that. What are some things that you think about when you're eating food? This is delicious. This is amazing. This is phenomenal. Now, one of my favorite dishes is spaghetti, and that's where I'll start. I'll start by thinking about all the things about the spaghetti. and I'll use my transitional phrases. I'll use my academic vocabulary. I'll use my phrasal verbs. And if I can, I'll use an idiom. So that would be four things: P, phrasal verb; I, an idiom; T, transitional phrase; and A, academic vocabulary, PETA. Now, my response would be something like this. Let me see. One of my favorite dishes is spaghetti. I like spaghetti because it is easy to prepare and it is a very nutritious meal. I usually eat spaghetti 2 or 3 times a week, and it's prepared in about 20 minutes. So from the time I start opening the box of spaghetti, and I like the long spaghetti, the long, thin spaghetti. It takes about 10 minutes for the spaghetti to cook, and the meat sauce is in a jar. I'll heat that in a frying pan or small pot. And once that's done, I pour that over my cooked spaghetti and place it on the table. I generally sit at the table with my favorite book or magazine while I'm eating my spaghetti. And after I finished, I generally will wash the dishes. What I like about spaghetti or that spaghetti dinner is that it is an easy cleanup as well. There's no stickiness around the stove. Whatever I want to think about, talk about, I just think about spaghetti. Now, there are lots of things that was missing in that response. That would be a response, maybe a 5, because it was fluent, but I didn't have my transitional phrases. I didn't have my, I did have the academic vocabulary, but I didn't have my phrasal verbs. So now that you've listened to me, try to figure out how you can put in transitional phrases into what I said. However would be one. For this reason would be another transitional phrase. Must have is a phrasal verb. And should do, phrasal verbs in this case are just generally 2 words, not 2 syllables, but 2 words. All right. Well, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you when I jump on again. I'm Dr. Priscilla. Bye for now.